night, the city of Lagos
there is still a poor level of
Be the first to know from the north, south, east, west, and around Africa. We break the news.
One Nigeria.
Now you can catch all the actions live as the news breaks. We are Core TV News.
Welcome to Core
a
TV.
24-hour news station.
Good morning and welcome to Core Digest. We sincerely apologize for starting the program late. This was due to some technical hitches that is beyond our control, but we hope to make it good for you even at this time that we are starting. Today we are supposed to be looking at the topic, the battle over Bama, who really is in charge. Bama has been under attack by insurgents, and there are speculative statements coming from both sides claiming victory and in control of the second largest city in Borno State, where the insurgency is at its highest level in Nigeria. And I have in the studio here a guest, Tomiwa Odusanyo, a public affairs analyst, who is going to help us out with discussions on the topic. Tomiwa, welcome to Core Digest.
Good morning, Sana, and good morning, viewers at home.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Now, first, let's start on this note. Probably, how will you assess the situation around Bama from Damboa to Goza that was a few days back, or for a week or so, declared like a caliphate by the insurgents, the Boko Haram insurgents, and now the attack on Bama? So how would you assess this situation of the insurgency right now within that axis in Borno State?
It's very unfortunate that we are in a pathetic situation as far as Nigeria is concerned. And I really pity the inhabitants of that vicinity there, Borno State, Bama, and all other areas being captured by so-called Boko Haram. To me, I believe the federal government has not done enough, to checkmate or to curb the excessiveness of the Boko Haram. In a situation whereby we have a federal government meaning business, where we have Nigeria Army being the best on ground as far as attack and whatever is concerned. I hope as Commander-in-Chief of Armed Forces, you ought to have declared an order for them to face Boko Haram from left, right, front, and back, so that invading Bama, invading here and there wouldn't have been the situation as at now. So it's very unfortunate and very pathetic.
Now, there are issues that has to do with having the right equipment, having enough firepower to be able to stand the insurgents, which recently has led to some cases of mutiny and an abandonment of duty posts by the military here and there. Those cases were rife when all of a sudden we began to hear about the taking over of Goza and then now the attack on Bama.
You see, it's very unfortunate that on a yearly basis, certain amount of the budget is being apportioned to defense. Where does the money go? For years back, have we even had any accountability as far as allocated finance into the defense? So it's not an excuse at this point in time. And Nigeria, as it were, being called a giant of Africa or whatsoever, at this point in time, we should not be facing problem of insurgency. As far as we have well-equipped, I believe Nigerian Army should be well-equipped beyond this level we are finding ourselves. And I believe the money is there to equip them in all ramifications, so that when insurgency comes, it should be attacked immediately.
When you say the Nigerian Army, you believe the Nigerian Army is well-equipped. Now, how do we relate it to this not having enough equipment that the soldiers themselves are saying?
That should be the lapses between the presidency and the army chiefs. We have the chief of air staff, the chief of army staff, and all sorts of. They need to come together and submit their demands to the federal government. These are what we needed for us to fight any attack at any point in time. They should be prepared. When Trade Center was attacked in 2001, America was not prepared for it. The attack just came, and since ever then they have been on alert. of such an unexpected attack. So I hope as Nigeria Army, where we have qualified chiefs here and there, they should be prepared at any point in time.
Now let's take a look at this scenario. Now, when the soldiers at the war front begin to say they don't have enough firepower, the equipment is not there to match the kind of equipment that the insurgents are using, the Boko Haram insurgents are using to fight them. And that is why sometimes they don't get to face the battle as they are supposed to face it. Look at this scenario. God forbid, if Nigeria had gone to war with this kind of poor preparation, would it have been a situation where it is at that point that we begin to look for equipment? Does it mean that the army has never had enough stock before now?
If let's assume that they don't have enough war weapons in stock, I hope in recent time the president made a proposition to the House to approve 1 billion.
Yeah, that was even when the insurgency was as its
After
peak.
all, even ever since then, if a billionaire has been approved to equip Nigeria Army, I wonder why Boko Haram should also be invading one town or the other in Borno State. That means those are the heads of affairs there. They don't have the passion for this country.
Yeah. Now, recently, the Chief of Army Staff was quoted as saying the war against insurgency will be over with the new equipment that the army is purchasing.
Now,
why do we have to wait until we face insurgency before getting equipment?
Are we going to announce a specific date for us to get over insurgency or the attack of Boko Haram? It is how you prepare to fight the battle. If you fight the battle to overcome them, who are they? They are nowhere to be found. But Nigeria Army, I'm seeing there the presidency, I'm not seeing any level of seriousness in them. Because I can see this country whereby those that are the heads of affairs, they don't love individual Nigerians. We don't value lives in Nigeria. What we value is our individuality, our personality, whatsoever. This kind of a thing can never happen in the United States or in most of these advanced countries. So it's very pity, it's a pity and it's very unfortunate that we find ourselves, it's a mess and it's a big slap to the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Now let's look at this critically. Do we say it is the war of wars or a psychological war that is being fought now? Now we find the Boko Haram laying claim that they captured Bama, and the Defense Headquarters is saying no, it's not true. Bama is under control by the Nigerian military.
Well, at that point, we were not at the scene of the event. If Boko Haram said they've captured Bama, and news revealed that Bama has been captured by Boko Haram, and the Nigerian Army is now saying that Bama have not been captured by Boko Haram. Let's see how it goes. If it has not been captured, let us come and prove that insurgency has not been extended to that particular Bama city that has been claimed to be captured by Boko Haram. And what have they been doing? Boko Haram shouldn't have even got to that Bama in terms of capturing. These are the cities that are very closer. These are bigger cities. They are sitting within Borno State. So those cities where they say that Boko Haram can invade at any point in that, there should have been security alert everywhere. Security personnel, security gadgets being installed every now and then, so that any attempt of invasion, they will just capture it. But unfortunately, they were left unconcerned, and now they are disclaiming that Bama has not been captured. It's high level of
But we are aware that there is a military base in Bama, and there is an armory in Bama. There's a military base there. And but Bama is just roughly about 50 kilometers away from Goza.
We are not disputing that. I hope in the past, in recent past, this same Boko Haram invaded military barracks. They invaded military setup. So are we now saying that at those military setup, there are no ammunitions or there are no fighting or whatever to attack them?
Now the situation here is this. Now a senator of the Federal Republic was quick to to say that Bama has been captured by the insurgents. Now, before the leader of the civilian JTF addressed a press conference along with the deputy governor of Borno State to say, no, it is not true that Bama has not been captured. The military repelled that attack.
You can
now,
see
these are two prominent political figures in Nigeria giving contradictory statements about the same situation. What does it tell for the fight against insurgency?
You can see the level of insincerity among our political leaders. If a senator is telling us Bama was captured and the governor was telling us it wasn't true, who are we going to believe? It's just very unfortunate that the federal government, I don't even know, the federal government have not done the needful to curb the excessiveness of the so-called Boko Haram. So this issue of invading Bama, invading here and there, wouldn't have even erupted at all. I didn't believe we have done the needful, to curtail the activities.
Now, I want you to paint a scenario for you here to see how the situation is. Now, Bama is the second largest city in Borno State. Yes. Bama is just about 50 kilometers away from Goza, where the Boko Haram released a video saying they have captured Goza, just about 50 kilometers. So you can imagine the closeness. And from Goza to Bama. Bama to Maiduguri is just roughly about over 100 kilometers to Maiduguri itself.
Looking at consider the distance.
Now, looking at the closeness of this city to the headquarters, and then putting in mind that the military was quick to put a dusk-to-dawn curfew in Maiduguri, which it said it did to prevent some of the insurgents who suffered defeat to get to Maiduguri. Now, how safe is Maiduguri city, the capital of Borno State itself, when these things begin to play around close to the city?
Well, the inhabitants of Maiduguri, as we speak, they should be living in fear. If from Gosek to Bama, there can be an attack. 100 kilometers to Maiduguri, an attack can be launched at any point in time. You have to know that these Boko Haram people, they are restless. They are not ready to cease fire. They don't know. They seem to be on rampage 24/7, and I've not seen our security network being on rampage or being at alert 24/7 in order to sensitize or to be ready for any untimely or unexpected attack. So I won't be surprised if Maiduguri township is captured. So if other cities closer to Maiduguri are captured, like Bama and Goze, what are we talking about? So the inhabitants in Maiduguri should be sensitized that at any point in time, insurgency can invade Maiduguri. Even despite the fact that there is a claim that we have security personnel, security here and there, coffee has been declared here and there, that does not stop Boko Haram from invading Maiduguri.
Maiduguri has been relatively off the attacks recently. There was a time the attacks were so rampant, and then it was secured from attacks now. But now we seem to see that the fight is coming closer to Maiduguri city itself.
Yes.
Now, the military have said they are containing the situation. And we have the civilian JTF saying, yes, the military are actually in control of Bama. But these fears and these contradictions that are coming from political leaders, how does it help the fight against insurgency when we begin to have the top political leaders giving contradictory statements?
It doesn't help.
Same situation.
It's rather aggravates the situation, and it's rather puts Nigerians in totality into a situation in which they cannot even believe if who and who says what on air or newspapers. When we have contradictory statements from people at the ends of affairs, then we begin to exercise fear that our lives, are we safe in this part of the world? Are we safe in this part of the country? I hope the people concerned, they need to sit around the table and find solution to this problem.
Yeah, so what should they do to avoid this from happening again when you have contradictions here and there?
I hope the presidency need to work in hands with all the military chiefs, the chief of army staff, the chief of air staff, all of them.
No, but this the first statement of capturing Bama came from a politician,
yes.
from a senator, Senator Zana to be precise. Now, how do these political leaders, what do they need to do to avoid creating such confusion?
Well, we cannot say that the senator in question brought about confusion. He may be right in what he has said. I mean, may not be right. You know, everybody is entitled to his own opinion. But as far as I'm concerned, by virtue of his position as a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, he shouldn't have come up on here and said something that he was not sure of. And, you know, the military on their part will try to defend their constituency by saying that, no, Bama is under the control of the Nigerian army. It has not been invaded by the military. I mean, by the Boko Haram. So, you know, the military, they will have to defend to show to the presidency that we are really working. We are in control of Bama. There has never been any invasion or any attack whatsoever from Boko Haram. And from the aspect of the politician, they are telling people that this is the true picture of it. And by virtue of the position occupied by the army chiefs, they will intend to, you know, defend their constituency so that they won't be found wanting, and they won't like to be quoted that what the senator said was right. But
is that good for the fight against insurgency when the lives of the innocent ones are involved?
It's not.
And especially because when the panic can lead also to chaos.
It's not. It's not good at all. It's not good. It's highly pathetic. When you wake up in the morning, you don't know the next thing you will face. You may be going on the road, you just hear a bomb blast from one angle or the other. Look at the other bomb blast we had at Abuja and whatsoever. You know, it's very unfortunate that people are living in a pathetic and chaotic situation now, as far as Borno is concerned.
Now, let me take you back to a statement by a public analyst that says that this is the right time for the Nigerian military and the presidency to take advantage of the Boko Haram coming out from their cells, from their hiding, from their holes, to attack cities and try to capture them to really win this war. Do you think that's a possible strategy?
That person has spoken positively. I hope at this point the presidency and Nigerian army should strategize. The Nigerians, they know what to do. We were at Liberia for ECOMOG rescue. Nigerian army were there. They know how they were able to bring out peace. They know how they were able to capture the rebels. We can see, no, with this our own macro environment. I believe Nigerian army can do that if they are really sincere to do, and if they are really provided the needed ammunitions and tools to do it.
No, but is this suggestion an advantageous strategy that is suggesting that the Boko Haram are now out of Sambisa forest and are attacking major towns, and then they should be taken care of?
The Nigerian army should take that advantage, in the sense that now that they are out attacking more cities, capturing more cities, they should strategize on how to fight them from behind. They should fight them from behind and also fight them from the front. So that they put them at the middle, then they conquer them. They know the strategy.
Is it that easy?
It's their job. That is what they have signed to do. And that is why we have defense. Huge amount of money being allocated to defense on a yearly basis budget. So they can do it.
And when Goza was attacked and Shekau released that video, he was quoted as saying, they have taken Goza and they are not going to leave Goza, they are going to stay in Goza. Now, when statements like this are being made by insurgents, and what do you think should be done?
What should be done is how to capture that Goza away from them, how to chase them out of that place. how to get the helms of affairs arrested.
So when we keep talking of chasing and chasing, you chase and the people keep coming back. So when we take a final, what is the final or the most effective solution?
They are not chasing perfectly. As military men, they have their strategies. They know what to do. Like, if there is a case now, let's say for example, if a policeman is to investigate a case and get to the in-depth of it, it doesn't need to be told. He will carry out that investigation and get to the depth of that case. Then you give kudos to him. I hope the Nigerian military men can also do the same. They know what to do. But the one problem we had in the past was that some of Nigerian army chieftains were part of the Boko Haram. We don't know how far that was true. We don't know how far that was true. You understand me? Mm-hmm. So in such a situation whereby you are at the war front to fight, as a Nigerian army, you are in the war front to fight Boko Haram, and unfortunately you now saw one of your commandants in the midst of the Boko Haram, you are confused.
No, but is that really what is happening?
Because that is where the confusion comes from.
But the infiltration is not as physical as said.
As claimed, but we have had similar cases happened. And when you see such a thing, you now be surprised as a military man in the battlefront. What is happening here? Am I brought here to be killed?
But we should also put it at the back of our minds that Boko Haram, when they attack, they capture military personnel and they make them work or train for them also.
It does. They know whoever falls in that situation, for you to be, for you to escape later in the day, you need to bow to their pressure. There's nothing you can do, because at that point you are powerless. At that point you have nothing to fight, because at that point you are not there as a group. You are there as an individual. So by virtue of that, you can be compelled by their pressure to train their personnel. But it's not whereby a commander trained some set of Nigerian army, getting to the battlefront, you saw the same commandant mingle with Boko Haram.
Because there were reports.
It's very unfortunate.
There were reports that some of the people that were captured during the Goza attack are being used as trainers in the Boko Haram
camp.
Yeah,
it's possible,
because they were occupying the police training college in Goza.
It is possible.
Now, as we round up, because our time is up and we really need to round up now.
No problem.
And as we round up, what will be your advice to managing information like this that came as a result of the attack on Bama, whether it's in control of the military or it's in control of Boko Haram? What will be your advice to authorities managing such an information?
I hope at this point, when such information comes, you go further for verification. You understand? You go further for verification in the sense that, was it really true that Bama was captured? The statement quoted by the secretary, was it really true? Before you now come out with your own conclusion. If you don't go further verifying those two statements, definitely there will be confusion.
But was the senator supposed to go quick with that kind of statement?
It doesn't matter. A senator may tell the truth or may tell lies.
All right.
We are human beings.
Thank you, Tomiwa
Thank you very much
for coming on Core Digest.
It's nice being here.
We appreciate your presence being here. Viewers, that's all we can take on Core Digest. Our time is up, and we will be rounding up now to take news on the hour next. Please stay with us.
You can now watch Core TV News live from anywhere in the world on our website, www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to Core TV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click Core TV, leave a space, then news. Core TV News, a 24-hour news station.